All right, Jet fans, here we are, Sunday evening. Win against the Bears. Mike effing White did it again. Let's go, Dan.
Yeah, baby. Welcome back, everybody, to another session of Jets Therapy. Dude, this is unbelievable. Now, we were just talking before we started recording. This is this is what we were hoping for. This is what we knew Mike White had in stall for everybody. We knew that he had the ability to do this. He did it versus the Bengals last year, and I mean the dude is accurate. He's the true game manager I think that we've been looking for this offense.
Yeah.
He's competent. He's a little bit older. He's a little more seasoned than Zach Wilson is, and he just knows where to put the ball and when to put the ball. And honestly, it was just fun to see. I said this in a video that I recorded earlier. It's almost like he didn't make any mistakes with his arm. I mean,
That,
every single ball was almost placed perfectly.
there was one that
That
went
could have been a pick
through, like,
six
could
to
have
Garrett
been.
Wilson.
But dude,
It could have
but
been.
that was one, you know what I mean? Like, again, that was also like on target for Garrett Wilson. So, like,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit behind, but the defender had to make the play. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
but dude,
that's nitpicking.
what are your initial thoughts? You watch the game. Obviously, Mike White goes off, throws zero interceptions, three touchdowns, over 300 yards. You walk out of that game. What are your initial thoughts, especially with having Zach Wilson on the bench?
Dude, I'm pumped. I mean, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good for the rest of the season. I'm feeling good with Mike White at the helm. But again, I mean, we talked about it in our preview to the game, dude. I didn't think we were gonna win this game this way. You know what I mean? I knew I think we knew it was gonna rain. We saw the weather report. I thought we were gonna win on the ground. James Robinson was a healthy scratch. Came out. Salah said he thought Bam Knight played better. His running style played better. And you know what? Salah was right again. Bam Knight went off. I mean, we still had 158 yards on the ground, but we threw for over 300 yards. Mike White, dude, like, I did not expect that type of game. And again, a lot of it was yard after catch. I think we had but like there was that big throw to Elijah Moore for the touchdown. That was a 30-yard
Yep.
throw, 25, 30-yard throw. Had some big ones to Garrett Wilson and had, 10, 15, 20 yarders out to tight ends. We got, I think I saw Mike White through to 10 different jets. When was the last time, if ever, Wilson did that? You know what I mean? So again, I don't want to beat on the guy. I think, we'll talk about it a little bit later. I don't want to beat on the guy, but I think you said it best, dude. Mike White just plays this system better than Zach Wilson does. And that's not necessarily a slight on Zach Wilson, but Mike White's a little bit, he's been in the league a little bit more. Zach Wilson just has some learning to do still. But again, dude, the rest of the team is ready to go, primed and ready to go. And I think we saw that today. Now, again, it was against the Bears, who were 3-8 coming into this game. But again, they were ranked ninth in the league against the pass, and Mike White threw all over them. So, I
Yeah.
mean, coming out of this game, you're feeling pretty good. Now, again, we
Yeah.
got the Vikings next week, which are going to be a much bigger test. But feeling really good, dude. Feeling really good.
I just kept saying to myself, like, why does this look so easy?
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, what? Like, why? I keep asking myself two things. Why can't Zach Wilson do this? And how has he not been able to do this?
Yep.
Like, what is it about Mike White? And maybe it's just simple. And I've been reading a lot of the comments. A lot of them are going to say Zach Wilson sucks. That's truly what they're going to say. But like,
Yeah.
why hasn't Zach been able to do this? Because yes, Mike White made some big throws in some big spots, especially that one where he hit Garrett Wilson over the middle, over the top of that linebacker who like went up for it and he
Yeah. Yeah.
just missed it. But yes, there were a few throws like that where it was like, wow, great job, Mike, White, way to get the first down, whatever it is. But like, why hasn't Zach been able to just do these simple things that Mike White does? And like, I've been thinking about it after the game, and like, it's what we've been talking about this whole time up until this point where he doesn't have the confidence to do it.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the confidence to read the field or not throw an interception or hit the easy check down. He's like in between trying to play hero ball and playing scared, not playing confident. If Zach Wilson pans out, dude, I don't think it's going to be this year.
No way, no. And
After this, you have to be able to give Mike White a legit opportunity. He's a confident guy. And dude, at Western Kentucky, this is the type of ball that he played. He threw the ball. It was
yeah,
all on his shoulders. And that is starting to translate now into the NFL.
yeah. And I mean, we are a team that when we need to throw the ball, you need to be accurate and you hit your receivers early. I mean, that's what that's similar, like not in a nutshell, what the Shanahan offense is going to give you is what you want. You know what I mean? You want to hit the open receivers. Obviously, you want to do that whenever you're a quarterback. But like we saw Bam Knight today. We saw Breece Hall before he got injured. We now have James Robinson. Granted, he's on a 1-year deal, so he's not, we're going to have to either get rid of him or pay him a little bit. And then we got Michael Carter. So this running back room that we have is young and very talented. So I think if we can establish that run first, and then throw when we need to, and we have someone who's competent behind the center that can throw the ball and get it to our receivers, we're going to succeed. And I think we saw that today. I mean, the run was there, but again, in the conditions, it wasn't as good as it probably.
The fact that he did this in spite of the conditions, that's what's special.
There was no wind today, Dan.
There was no wind, but there was rain. And my God, did he do it in spite of the rain?
Yeah.
And you didn't hear any talks of the elements after the game from Mike White, dude. And you hit the nail on the head. And even to furthermore, the running back room is young and they're playing fantastic. The wide receiver room,
young,
other than Corey Davis, young and they're playing fantastic. The defensive backs are young and they're playing fantastic. You're not looking at a team like what excites me most about this team is that we are not the 2015 Jets. That was almost like a 1-year win team. We got old dudes. We got Decker. We got all these players, Fitzpatrick, who are kind of at the end of their career. They're still
Marshall was getting towards the end of his career.
And they're just trying to put it together. This is a young squad that's hungry, that's gelling. They want to be in New York. They want to be New York Jets. And they just needed that last piece of the puzzle. And honestly, that last piece of the puzzle was the quarterback. And Mike White is now showing, I can be this dude. I can be the dude that plays solid, that you all can rely on. I can throw accurate passes. And I hate to say it this way because of how upset we were with Elijah Moore, but I think he was seeing the writing on the wall.
Dude, did you see any of his post-game interviews? Yeah, he looks like a different person, dude. He's like, I was talking to the ball. I said, I know it was going to come. It was, like, I get it. And again, maybe this is just we've seen little peaks of what the locker room really thought of Zach Wilson. And I think the post-game interviews today will tell a lot and have said a lot. And the way the team reacted, obviously, they want to be behind their guy and Mike White, but like maybe the team really didn't have, and it was that false, like, just up against the media, like, this is what we need to say to give our guy confidence, but it's a false confidence because obviously Wilson hasn't been playing that. And maybe in the beginning of the year that kind of gave him some juice, but after he lost that first Pats game, after he went to the bye game, just squeaked through. I mean, again, we played well against the Bills, but like then scored nothing against the Pats again. And I'm sure that was just shattering for him. You know what I mean? Like, and we don't know what happens in that locker room or what's said in that locker room. And I'm just happy to see our guys happy. I'm happy to see us winning a game. So, dude, you can't just give Wilson the job again after Mike White threw for over 300 yards.
Lose the locker room. You know what I mean? He'll lose the locker room immediately.
Yeah. So unless he plays a terrible game again, there's no way Mike White's not our guy for the rest of the year. And if he plays this way and we beat the Vikings next weekend, I don't want to see Zach Wilson back on the field, right? Like,
write him out.
Why?
If you're 8-4, if you're sitting at 8-4 and you beat the Vikings, I don't care if you lose the rest of your games. You ride out Mike White to determine, is this a potential franchise guy that we had sitting on the bench this whole time?
That'd be, again, it'd be the most Jets thing in the world, right? Like, we draft a guy number 2. We think he's our franchise guy. He pans out not. The franchise guy's we picked him up off the practice squad, right? Like, who knows, dude? And again, I don't care if he fits.
I would love it. We just want to win. We just want to win.
We just want to win. That's what this fan base needs. It's what we want.
After the game, Sauce Gardner tweeted, he was like, so 2 things. This was our first touchdown drive of the year in the first quarter. Yep.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Haven't had one, but I mean that shouldn't surprise you based off of
No,
what we've had going on, especially
yes,
what we've been able to do in the fourth quarter.
that's
That's
true.
really been our prime, is playing well in the fourth quarter. And I love the fact that we didn't get to the fourth quarter and had to scramble and come up with
Yeah,
a win. We just rided it out, which was
yeah.
beautiful. And I don't care that we beat the 3-8 Bills with a backup quarterback.
We were
Okay,
in
the Jaguars just won today.
we were in
Like,
victory formation at the 2-minute warning, Dan.
yeah, yeah. So this team is obviously looking good. And Sauce Gardner tweeted, he was like, it was strange that during the first drive, we didn't have to immediately get onto the field.
Yeah,
Essentially saying, I
they
can't
got
believe
rest.
that the game started and we had the ball and we had that much time in order to just kind of
Yeah,
watch the
yeah, yeah.
game and hang out and be able to take a deep breath and get ourselves together instead of just getting thrown onto the field. Now, the defense started a little shaky, but they came back, really, really strong. But before we get in all that, hit me with your gas for this game. What stood out to you the most? What were the biggest positives?
I mean, my gas is getting the ball to 10 different receivers, getting the ball to all the players on the field. And that's what we said we wanted Mike White to do, right? Get the ball to our playmakers, get the ball to our guys, and let them do the rest. And we dropped 31 points. We won. You know what I mean? Like that was it. It was get them the ball, service the offense the way it needs to be serviced, and play within your lane. And I think Mike White did that today. No turnovers. It was awesome. It was that. I mean, it's as simple as that, right? That's all you need for your gas right there. Is just boom.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, White did everything that we needed him to do, everything we wanted him to do that we've been discussing this whole time.
Yeah.
Just be the game manager, see the field, hit the open receiver. It's almost like it. My guess is just going to be how easy he made it look to move the ball. Every time I was watching Zach Wilson, even when he was moving the ball well, it just looked so difficult.
Yeah.
I just was like, when he threw the ball, I was like cringing. I was like, is this going to be an interception? He's going to overthrow the guy. He's going to spike it. What's going to happen on this play? Is he going to get hurt? He just made everything, the 6 yards, the 6-yard passes, the 4-yard passes, everything was so tough.
Yeah.
But White just gave us an opportunity to see this is what it can be like when you just get your playmakers the ball.
Yeah.
Just get Wilson the ball. Just get Moore the ball. Let them make the play. Let them do their thing after the catch. And we saw a lot of that. The 3 biggest plays of the game, Garrett Wilson on obviously the touchdown run, Elijah Moore on his big touchdown catch, and then Elijah Moore again on his big, it was like a 45-yard gainer or something along those lines. And a lot of it was after the catch.
Yeah.
And that's what's exciting, man. We don't need to see 70-yard bombs down the field. And the only thing is, like, that was Zach Wilson's strength, this huge arm who's able to, overthrow safeties and overthrow cornerbacks. We don't need that.
Yeah.
We don't need that. And it's almost like this offense was playing to Zach Wilson's his deficits and the things he wasn't good at.
Yeah.
Now we're playing to Mike White's strengths.
We were, for lack of a better term, we're trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. You know what I mean? Like, we know what Zach Wilson's strengths are, those off-schedule plays, and this offense doesn't guide that. You know what I mean? It's not built for that. So, and again, it kind of goes back to what, I don't want to talk about it too much, but like, why did we draft Zach Wilson if we knew that his strength wasn't going to be used in this offense? Maybe they thought they could coach him into it.
Just the talent, dude. He has so much talent.
I
guess. He has so much talent. He's a well-spoken guy.
We're not trying to take away from his talent, but
that was it. They were essentially like, look, he has all of the ability of a Josh Allen and a Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. He has all of those intangibles that probably only like 10% of the league possess. He has all of those
things.
The
uncoachables.
Yes, the uncoachables. He has those. So if we're able to just figure out the little things, figure out the short things, the footwork, if we're able just to figure that out, he is going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. But he's not figuring those things out. Whether it's coaching, whether it's him, whether it's ego, whether it's
whatever
confidence,
it is.
I don't care what it is. It's not working. And it hasn't been 8 games. It hasn't been 10 games. It's been over 20 games.
Yeah.
20 games he hasn't figured it out. So if Zach Wilson comes back and he plays beautifully, I don't know what, honestly, at this point, I don't know what opportunity is going to show itself for Zach Wilson to be the dude again.
Yeah.
But I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about where we are
winning right now.
hit me with your break, dude. What kind of stood out to you that needs to get a little better?
My break to me is nitpicking, right? I mean, again,
Yeah.
we just won a game 31-10. Like if I got to choose something, honestly, defense started slow for me. You know what I mean? I think they kind of, I mean, I think David Montgomery ran not, I don't want to say all over us, but he had lanes to run in all day. And Simeon kind of threw all over us towards the beginning of the year. Obviously, we got things going on the defense. They only scored 10 points, but that first quarter, you looked at it, it was like, what we could, this looks like could be a little bit more than we thought it was going to be. But again, I think Sauce Gardner had a off game. I don't know. That was definitely pass interference that got called on him.
Oh yeah.
100%
Yeah.
was bringing down Claypool before
Yep.
he got the ball. So that was a good matchup to see today. But again, I think we got on it. DJ Reed got his first touchdown scored on him of the year.
Still good coverage, though. Still good coverage.
Still great coverage. But again, it's again,
Yep.
I'm nitpicking little things if I want to, but we held him to 10 points. We scored 31. So yeah, dude, I was very happy. Very happy.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your break?
I mean, it's just like you said, you just nitpicking. I didn't really see anything out of Carl Lawson. Out of maybe like an offensive line that was not great, and I think they had an early injury maybe, but I could have been thinking.
Well, they had Eddie Jackson, so we'll give them some of those 300 yards. We'll give them that they didn't have Eddie Jackson as a safety, and then Darnell Mooney went out of the game.
Yeah, Darnell Mooney went down. So. But you didn't see much out of we didn't really get after the quarterback, I was expecting, and we knew that we have one of the best defensive lines in football. And I think this was a great game, especially with, and this is honestly a different, I still think we win, but with Justin Fields in there, it's a very different game.
Very different. Yeah.
He would have had the ability to pick up a lot of first downs with his legs.
He's their leading rusher. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. So I just out of the defensive line, but nitpicking, of course. Quinnen Williams was quiet. Carl Lawson was quiet. I think they did enough to have a few pressures, but, at the end of the day, just you want to see more of them. But, dude, I could be very incorrect in that. Maybe they played much better than I my initial takeaways.
Yeah.
There's not much you can critique here. The whole team played great. They played as a team, and it's exciting getting this confidence going into the Vikings game because
moving on,
a game that I think that we can potentially win, even though the Vikings are playing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Goodness, what a game.
I love it. So if I could add another break is a kind of thought about it today because we had another one that we didn't recover. Dude, we can't recover fumbles apparently. That's the one thing that we have not been able to do this season is recover a dang fumble. Like we had a few chances.
Even if it's sitting right in front of you, it doesn't matter.
Even if it's right there.
It's the popcorn. They've had too much popcorn before the game. It's slippery. I mean,
buttery fingers. That's it. That's it, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it's so true. That was a great hit. What was that in our red zone? I don't know who laid the hit down, but CJ Mosley was just standing on top of the ball and just couldn't pick it up.
Couldn't get it.
Maybe it was Komet or whoever was just reached his hand. I was like, oh, I'll just go ahead and grab that. So you're absolutely right. I mean, and tackling was rough today from a defensive,
I'll give you that. Yeah.
It was just, early.
Joyner missed one early, and it was
dude. He missed one early. That could have been a huge 4-and-out to start the game, But he had him 2 yards behind the line, behind the first down line, and then the guy again butters out of that one and then runs for 35 yards. So tackling needs to and that's been a little. Jordan Whitehead has missed tackles throughout the year. That's led to some big plays. Just contain those short because our defense is so good. I feel like the main way that an offense is going to beat us is on these huge, gigantic plays down the field in which they get lucky or there's a pass interference call or on these little dink and dunks where, we miss a tackle or whatever it is. So, kind of clean that up a little bit and we'll be okay.
Yeah, dude, I agree. I mean, phenomenal win. I mean, we're, going to be we won a game. We won. And again, it's a game we thought we were going to win. You know what I mean? We thought I think thinking back, it's always wary coming off a loss, thinking, hey, we should win this against a weaker offensive or weaker opponent. But I don't know, man. It felt good. We felt in control 75, 80% of the game.
Yep.
And we got a big one next week against Minnesota. So
I'm excited, man.
I'm excited.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. We are going to be looking forward to the upcoming Vikings game. Obviously, it's a
Right.
big one. We got the Vikings, we got the Bills, we got some big games coming up.
Yep.
This was a good one to get before those games. You know, the last thing that you wanted was to lose this one and then have the Vikings and the Bills coming up. So
Exactly.
this
Like,
this was an exciting win.
Like we said, dude, I thought this game is going to determine or help determine the rest of our season. Win on a good win like we did. Morale is high. Teams rallying behind Mike White. We're probably one of the scarier teams with a competent quarterback in the league right now. You know what I mean? You don't know. We have an elite defense. This offense, I mean, just dropped 450 total, over 450 total yards. So anything is possible. So I'm very excited for the second half and the end of the season.
Just get the ball in the hands of your playmakers.
We're back in a playoff spot too.
Yes, we are. We're back in that last wild card spot, which is crazy, sitting in this AFC East, which is 2 teams at 8-3, a team at 7-4, a team at 6-5, and we're in that last spot.
If playoffs started right now, we'd be playing the Dolphins, baby.
Whew.
It's coming down to the Fins. Last game of the season.
We know that is going to mean a lot. It's going to mean everything. We know it. We've been talking about it all year. All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will talk to you soon. And
See you next week. Jets. Bye, everybody.